going on, everybody? Welcome to the Rob and Ray show, the Ravi and Ray show. Let's get it going, man. We got one hell of a damn show for you guys in store because for those who don't know, we have the biggest fight of the year, UFC 280, and I'm telling you right now, this is the best fight card of the year by far. And I honestly, I do believe it lived up to the hype. There's so much drama surrounding UFC 280. But you know what? Let's start it off first. Let's get it going. Let's talk about this first fight. It was in the prelims. I know Rob was watching that. I know this man is a huge fan of this man. And the Sean Brady versus Bilal Muhammad. Hell of a fight. Good fight. Robbie, I got to get you. You know what? I'm going to let you preach it, man. I'm going to let you preach it. Give it to us, man. What happened?
You almost had it, Ray. You were so close. It's Bilal. Remember the name Muhammad. That's who it is. Remember that name, man, because that man is on such a big come up, man. He gets disrespected. He doesn't have a chin. I even came out and said it. He doesn't have a chin. But you know what? He proved me wrong today, man. We didn't want to go down. He was 6 for 6 on takedown defense. He didn't let Sean Brady take him to the ground. He was 100%. He had Habib in his corner, coaching him up. Habib Nurmagomedov went 3-0 coaching today. He did really good coaching today.
Wow.
But the spotlight should be on this fight to Bilal. Remember the name Muhammad, man. And you know what? All this guy does is win. Win, win, win. 8-fight win streak this man is on. And you know what? He's still a few fights away from the title because nobody wants to give him the title shot. Oh, Bilal can't stand. Well, Bilal stood up today. Oh, Bilal can't grapple. Bilal grappled on his last fight. What can't this man do, man? This man can do it all. He came out, he knocked out Sean Brady. He is the first man in MMA record to take out Sean Brady, the undefeated rising prospect, the next big thing in the welterweight division. Bilal's like, nah, this is my time now. This is my time now. And you know what? I'm so happy for this guy, Ray. I cannot even tell you how happy I am for him. But just realistically speaking, he's still a few fights away from the title. Obviously, Kamaru Usman and Leon Edwards, they have to run it back. Usman dominated that fight. Rocky got, one kick in at like the less than a minute left in the 5th round and won that fight. They have to run it back. Totally understand. Dana White comes out and said he's trying to make Khamzat Chimaev an overrated Colby Covington in the next fight. And I bet you anything that's going to be the next title fight to whoever wins in the Kamaru Usman and Leon Edwards fight. Bilal's going to have to fight one more guy. They're like, oh, all Bilal does is fight people behind him. There's nobody above him. Nobody above him that wants to fight him. That's what it is. You're going to have to give him Gilbert Burns, man. You're going to have to give him Gilbert Burns. There's nobody else left for Bilal to fight. Bilal wants Colby. Bilal wants Khamzat. Bilal wants Rocky. Bilal wants anybody that's ranked above him, man. And after the standings today, I think Bilal is ranked number 5. He's going to go to number 4 above Gilbert Burns. And the 3 people above him, Khamzat Chimaev, Colby Covington, and Kamaru Usman, and obviously our champ, Leon Rocky Edwards. Bilal's still a few fights away, man, but he's getting there, man. He needs 1 or 2 more wins. And next year, by end of next year, it could be time to remember that man's name and never forget it ever again when we crown him as our new UFC welterweight champion one day. And I cannot wait for that time, man.
Oh, dude. And honestly, I agree with you like 1000% on everything you just said. Like, but you know what the thing is though, Rob? You know what I'll argue with you on as far as, because I know you're saying it's going to be a couple fights away. I think it's just 1 fight away. I really believe, I think it's 1 fight away because, like you said, what more can you ask for this guy? I think, now you're the expert on, you're the expert on this situation. So obviously, Bilal just won this fight, but Colby Covington, doesn't he have a fight coming up, or did he already fight already?
He got sucker punched by Jorge Masvidal, and he's been doing some legal issues behind the scenes right now. So he hasn't fought since he beat Jorge Masvidal and beat him like a little rag doll. So he
Damn.
hasn't fought since that fight.
Really? He sucker
Yeah,
punched him.
yeah,
Like
sucker
after
punch.
the fight?
No, they were in Miami, I think, something like that. Colby
Yeah.
was kicking with his boys. Jorge comes out of nowhere because Colby Covington absolutely embarrassed Jorge Masvidal and just used him as a little rag doll. That's all Jorge Masvidal was. He just wrestled him around and just destroyed Jorge. Jorge was a little salty. He came out of nowhere. I'm pretty sure it was in Miami, and he came and just sucker punched um, Kobe out of nowhere, and Kobe, I guess he had like some brain injuries. He maybe had a concussion, this and
Oh
that.
my
So they're going
gosh.
through some legal issues. Yeah,
And also, sorry too. I was just trying to plug in my battery outlet for the computer.
I'll forgive you. No worries.
But yeah, dude. Damn, what a hell of a fight though. Like, even the fights before that, they were
Yeah.
fantastic too. I thought they were really competitive. I thought they were really good. So, did any of the other prelim fights catch your attention?
Prelims fight. So we were recording 4th and 1, so I gotta go back and watch some of the prelim fight. Muhammad Mokayev
Yeah.
um, against Malcolm X Gordon. Malcolm X was a huge underdog. I think he was the biggest underdog in this card. And he was keeping Muhammad on his toes, man. And Muhammad had his undefeated record on the line. Muhammad was still winning that fight. Malcolm X couldn't just pull away from Muhammad, and I think it was an arm bar or something like that. And Muhammad was able to take him out in the third round. That one stood out to me. Couple contender series guy in middleweight, Armin Petrosian. He looked really good. Um, yeah, and you know that and Volkan Ozdemir and Nikita Krylov fight. We were recording 4th and 1, and you could see me keep looking back because the first round was absolutely epic on that fight.
Yeah.
Um, and then Kai Borralho, man, he's another contender series guy. He's looking real good young prospect, 13-1. So I can't wait to see his next fight.
All right, dude. You know what, man? I'm really excited. This next topic that I want to talk to you about, I'm really really excited for, and I really think that people who I really think for those who are just tuning in or just watching, man, we really appreciate you guys. Once again, we thank you guys a lot for the support for the Ravi and Ray show. Can't thank you guys enough. But I'm telling you right now, this next topic, I am so excited to talk to you about it. Peter Yan versus Sean O'Malley. Peter Yan versus Sean O'Malley went the full distance. It was a split decision. It went to Peter Yan. The Twitter world, not even just the Twitter world, the world in general is going wild. Ravi, break it down to us, man. What the hell happened? What happened?
It's clear, man. It's clear what happened. The judges had money on this fight. That's what happened. The judges had money on this fight, man. I
Oh,
had Peter Yan winning the. So it was clear. It was totally clear. It was 1-1 in the second and third round, right?
yeah,
All everyone thought about is that, Yan clearly won the second round. No denying about it. Sean O'Malley came back in the third round, got that, right? So all it came down to was the first round. And before I go on that, I
mhm.
just want to let you know that this should be fight of the year candidate. This fight was an absolute banger. Amazing fight, man. And I want to see this again, to be honest. But going back, I don't see a world where Sean O'Malley win that first round. I honestly don't. At the It was very competitive in the first round. And Peter Yan was putting the pressure. Peter Yan was going after him more. Peter Yan was doing more damage. And Peter Yan was doing more like of the attacking this whole fight. I think he even had a takedown or two in the first round. Sean O'Malley at the very end of the first round, it almost looked like a takedown, and at the time, DC commented it was a takedown, but on the
Yeah,
stats, it was not a takedown. It was not considered a takedown, and because of that, everyone's like, "Hold on, does Sean O'Malley maybe steal this round at the end?" And the only way he would have stole that round, Raymond, is if he scored that takedown, which he did not. He did not score that takedown. This round should have been Peter Yan's. And 2 of the 3 judges give this round to Sean O'Malley. I'm not taking anything away from Sean O'Malley. This was his biggest test yet. He said it right after his fight. This was his biggest test, and he was gassed. He looked great in some moments, but Peter Yan would just look like an absolute dog. I
Yeah.
don't see how Peter Yan won this fight. I'm so upset by the decision, to be honest. But it had to be done, man. It had to be done. Sean O'Malley's the next big thing in the UFC, and I
Wow.
feel like that had a little factor to do in it, man. No matter what you want to say, Sean O'Malley is more marketable than Peter Yan, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Sean O'Malley is so marketable. You want Sean O'Malley to win, and Dana White even said in his press conference that he didn't say it directly. He said it indirectly that Peter Yan won that first round. He found it very interesting that Peter Yan lost the first round. So without technically saying it, Dana White thought Peter Yan won that first round too, man, Ray. And I want to hear from you, like, maybe I was cheering for the winner on this fight. I love both these guys. Both these
Yeah.
guys have my absolute 100% respect. And I was just going for whoever wins in this fight and just trying to sit back and enjoy this fight. I just hate to see somebody get screwed like that. But you tell me, Ray, am I overreacting, or you think that, or you saw what I saw?
Well, I don't think you're overreacting on the part. I got to word this I'm trying to word this the best way I can. You're not overreacting when it comes to the decision of the fight, or when it comes to the fight in general. What the overreaction for me might be was when you said this fight. Now I don't know how much jokiness was behind it, but the fact that you were saying this fight was rigged do you really believe this fight was rigged?
Do I really believe it? No, I don't. But it
No.
just makes you think, man. It just makes you think that there's
Well, no, you have
so
a
much
good
of these
point though.
UFC fights. So much
You
of
have a
these
great
UFC
point.
fights.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was just gonna say, like, your point was fantastic. I mean, so can you just describe to us, can describe to me, like I said, and I apologize, I did not watch UFC 280. I was actually with my wife. We had a 3D ultrasound, so I got to see my daughter. Yes.
Yeah. Baby Nayeli on the way.
Yes, and that was really cool. And but so unfortunately, I didn't get to see the fight. So can you just explain to me the first round? Like, what happened when that moment when let's get it on, and they're going at it? Was it, you said it was competitive, but what, like, statistically, who won? Like, can you break that down in a sense?
If you want me to go statistically, I can pull up the
The
fight a
report,
little
or how
bit
about
more.
this? Instead of the statistics, why don't we just go from your eyes, from what you saw?
From the naked eye, Peter Yan started hot in the first half of that first round.
Okay. So are we talking
Sugar,
he was hitting him with leg kicks, combinations, everything like that,
everything,
etc.?
everything.
Or
Yeah, and real quick, I don't know why Sugar wasn't doing more leg kicks, man. You got a much shorter guy going. You're going against a much shorter guy. You're
Mhm.
going against somebody that doesn't have the reach advantage. You have a huge reach advantage on him, and you got to try to push him away from you, and try to, like, jab him, pull away, and you could
Yeah.
have won the fight so much cleaner. You don't have to take all that damage, but it's also Peter Yan's a real man, dude. He's a real guy. So to the
Yes,
naked eye,
sir.
man, I still had Peter Yan winning that first round. The whole Twitter world exploded. I think Twitter was backing me up too, that we had um what's his name? Peter Yan winning the first round. And here we go, Ray. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
In the first round, the total strikes was 28-23, Peter Yan. It was 1 takedown to 0, Peter Yan. How did Sugar Sean win the first round?
So that's what I'm saying. Like, even though what I'm, it's kind of like a, like, I know earlier I was saying like that is an overreaction a little bit, but it's also kind of not, because how do you
No.
not, like you said, how do you not win that round? Like, how does the judges not give him the round? And this is something that and it's so crazy to me too, because I feel like the last podcast we had, I kind of feel like I called it. I was like, I feel like
You
Peter
did.
Yan's gonna get screwed.
And what did I text you right after that fight, Ray? Tell
Yeah, you
everyone.
literally said you called it.
You called it. That's right, dude. You called it. You said on our last show, Peter Yan is going to win this fight, but the judges are going to screw him over. And that's exactly what happened,
Yeah,
man. You called it.
yeah, dude. And I literally I've been preaching for it. I've been saying it. I don't understand why Dana just says, "Hey, maybe we can get the retired people from the UFC and have them judge the fights."
Yeah.
But I feel, or at least the coaches or somebody with actual a background of what the hell, because this is what's gonna happen each time, man. Like you just get these people who we don't even know judging a fight and they do a horrible job and they still have a job. It's like it
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
And it's the same judges all over again. You know what? One thing I'm going to throw at you, Ray, on that argument, having ex fighters judge the fight, there's a lot of biased
I
non
was just gonna
fighters.
say that too.
And
Yeah,
that's the only downfall on it, because it'd be like, "Oh, that's my boy, man, like, I'm gonna
yeah,
get him," of course, so that's the only downfall about having ex-fighters do it, but I agree, man, the state commissions, there's so much times where you just leave with your head, scratching your head. If 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 the judges gave this, fight to Peter Yan, I don't think Twitter would have exploded on that fight like they did, because I'm sure about 80% of the Twitter world had Peter Yan winning that fight. The other
yeah.
20% are all Sugar Sean bias fans, because there's no way you're watching that fight and really think Sugar won that fight. Maybe I need to watch it back again. Maybe I need to watch it back again to see really what happened. The stats
Yeah.
spoke for itself. Um, the naked eye spoke for itself. We all mattered on that first round. That's the main round that everyone disagreed on. So we're just gonna have to watch it back and see, I guess, man. It's one of those. It's upsetting, but it is what it is. Sugar Sean O'Malley is going to skyrocket up those boards. He currently is number 11 in the world in the UFC
Mhm.
rankings in the bantamweight division, and he just beat number one ranked. Where do you think how far ahead do you think he moves up, Ray? Going from number 11 and beating, in a little controversial match, to beat the number one contender.
He is gonna be having an opportunity to fight for the belt next.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's that simple. I think Dana could say, "Damn, yeah, I don't know about that first round," but that's the thing. I feel like Dana has an option to say, "Okay, if I give him a title shot, those Sean O'Malley fans and all those guys, all those Sean O'Malley fans and just Sean O'Malley himself would have to say, damn, did I really win that first round?" Because
Yeah.
that's what's going to circulate. And it's like, okay, well, you didn't win the round, but, and you should have lost the fight. So why are you even having a title contending fight? Dana can be like, damn, I can make the money more by having those two fight again and
Right.
having then showing and being like, this is my fighter. This is the true guy to take over the UFC. He does that, beats Peter Yan in the second fight. Then everybody in the world will back him for the title shot. Or they just give him a
Yeah.
title shot, but like I said, he's going to have that asterisk over it because he's like, did you really beat Peter Yan?
Right.
So
Exactly. It's gonna be a
it's
tough one
kind
to see.
of,
If I'm Dana White, Sean Shelby, making these fights right now, what I would personally do, I would make these guys. Obviously, Sean O'Malley proved that he's not number 11. He needs to be in that top five ranking, because he looked absolutely great out there too. He definitely had his moments, so I'm not taking anything away from him at all. If I'm in the matchmaking, let's run these two guys again. Peter Yan, you know, yeah, I would do that. Let's run these two guys again. Peter
yeah.
Yan versus um Sugar Sean O'Malley for the fight. I would give, but then who gets the title shot? you have to give one of these guys a title shot. I think what's
Well,
going to happen is it's going to be Cheeto Vera versus Sugar Sean O'Malley, and the winner will get the title shot. And Peter Yan is going to have to maybe fight like Merab Dovishvili or maybe Corey Sanhagen or something like that to get to the title shot. Um, but yeah, I just don't see a clear number one fighter, dude. How do you? I understand he beat number one in the world, but because of that asterisk, how do you go from number 11 to a title shot? You know what I mean?
it's just, man, dude, like, I mean, look at the Connor situation. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, I know Connor was the interim, or what I believe he was like the interim champ. Then he had to
Mhm.
fight Jose Aldo, but like still, it was kind of like, damn, like if you're Dana, dude, it's a hard decision because he knows that damn Peter Yan won this fight. If I have him fight him, because I'm not. I think I just want to let everybody understand where my position's coming from. Like I'm talking about it from a business standpoint to where I'm trying to think like Dana White, right? To where you're like, what's going to make me the most money? Is it going to be a rematch with Peter Yan, or do I do something dramatic where I'm like, this guy is going to get the title shot? He's going to
Yeah.
get the title shot to fight him. And if my guy wins somehow, if my guy pulls up an upset, meaning my guy, meaning Sean O'Malley,
Mhm.
this world is going to go bonkers.
Mhm.
The UFC world will go insane. And this guy is going to be, you're going to see this guy in every damn commercial. You're going to see him in TV shows. You might see him in some movies. And I think Dana's going to try to promote him like he did to Conor McGregor.
Yeah. And he's so promotable, man. He's such a good
Yeah.
guy. He has that cocky attitude. When
Hmm.
he first stepped in the ring, I think he did a little bit of that Connor walk too, and then he kind of pulled away from it right away. So I don't know, but it is what
It's
it is.
very
But
entertaining to watch.
yeah,
And that's
absolutely.
what sells you big fights is entertaining. It is just the fight. Obviously, you can because look at I can give you a damn good example. I can give you a wonderful example. Conor McGregor, and he was in the flyweight division. Oh my gosh, he was bald, short. He's not. He doesn't fight anymore. He was like the most dominant fighter I've ever seen in a long time. Um,
Yeah,
wow. Or bantamweight. I don't remember, but
yeah,
Mighty
for sure.
Mouse. Mighty Mouse.
Oh, okay.
Mighty Mouse. So it's like Conor McGregor, right? You got Conor McGregor
Yeah,
on one side, you got Mighty Mouse on the other side. Okay, Mighty Mouse was way more dominant than Conor McGregor ever was. Way more dominant at his division and just the people he versed.
right.
But he never got that superstardom compared to Conor McGregor, who pretty much lost against Nate Diaz or Nick Diaz. No, Nate Diaz, and you know what I mean. But look what he has. He's like a billionaire now. So it's
Uh-huh.
like, you know,
Yeah, absolutely. I got you, man. Well, I'm sure we can talk about this controversy all day, but let's get to those championship fights.
yay! Aljamain Sterling versus T.J. Dillashaw. Ravi, break that down for us, man.
Man, I feel so bad for both guys, actually. I know Aljamain won, but I feel so bad for him, but I'll get to that in a second. But TJ Dillashaw, after so early first round, Aljo shoots for a takedown. He puts his hand down, he plants his hand, and you see his shoulder pop out. Clear as day. You can see it pop out right away. Like not even like I think not even like 30 seconds and 30 seconds to a minute in that fight. It was so sad to see. And so you could see it. He's grabbing his wrist and he's like pulling his wrist to try to put his elbow back in place, his shoulder back in place. Sorry, and he's trying to get it back in place. And I think for a split second, he did get it back in place. He gets it back in place. He somehow manages to finish that round. Somehow manages to pull it off and just finish that round, man. He manages to finish that round. Aljo clear as day won that first round. Clear as day was winning that second round. Um, but it's just one of those things. He came out and said he was like, "Man, since April, since I've been prepping for this fight, I've dislocated my shoulder about 20 plus times. This is an ongoing issue for him. This is something he knew that was going in. He went up to the ref before the fight and he told the ref, if my shoulder pops out, please do not cancel this fight. Do not stop this fight because I'm going to pop it back in and I'm going to continue fighting. He knew before this fight that his shoulder was going to pop out.
Yeah.
And it's just an injury that he had to go in with. Dana White said he had no idea. The commission had no idea either. This is just something that he just kept to himself so he doesn't lose his spot in the title contention. And I totally respect it. But I hate to see him lose like that. But I also feel bad for Aljo, man. Aljo was so dominant in that fight. I understand. But that's the thing. Aljo was so dominant in that fight. But in all of Aljo's last 3 fights, everyone's like, yeah, Aljo won, but this. Yeah, Aljo won, but he got kneed in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aljo won, but TJ Dillashaw's elbow dislocated. Oh, shoulder dislocated. It's like Aljo can't catch a break, man. Nobody I feel like people are not going to respect Aljo for a true champion that he is until he gets a full-on fight without getting some bad luck to go along with it. It's not his fault Peter Yan kneed him in the head. It's not his fault the judges messed up the second fight and gave him the championship. It's not his fault TJ Dillashaw got his elbow. I keep saying elbow. His shoulder popped out. You know what I mean? But people are going to say, yeah, he did this, but, and it's going to keep going on. And I feel so bad for Aljamain Sterling. I can't wait to see what's next for Aljamain Sterling. Um, we were talking about that bantamweight division. Is it going to be Sugar Sean? Is it going to be Murray Davicelli, Chito Vera? I guess we'll see, man. But it was a great
Yeah.
fight. I wish that shoulder thing didn't happen so we can see it longer, but it is what it is.
Yeah. And and yeah, that fight, it's just sad. It's just sad. I do feel I do feel bad for him too, because I get that, like, there's that stigma. There's always that asterisk, you know what I mean? That he's just gonna be like, yeah, you won that fight, but they always have to use
Mhm.
that, like, but whatever.
Yeah,
But I do feel bad for him. So
I do.
Robbie, I mean, I was just gonna ask you, I mean, he's the champion. I mean, do you see anybody worthy of his to beat this guy? Do you think that Dana just says, hey, let's just give him like a little bit more of an easier fight? No, none of the fights are ever easy. It's UFC, anything could happen, or it's
Yeah.
MMA, so anything can happen in that sense. But do you think what do you think he does? What do you think is
I
next step?
I think Sugar Sean O'Malley's next. I know he's
Yeah.
number 11. I know we were
Yeah,
just talking about it, but I think he's next. I
for
think with that
sure.
win, beating number 1 in the world, whatever happened. He still got his hand raised. In the books, he's still the winner, and that's all that matters, honestly. So
Yeah.
I think it's got to be the Sugar Show. And oh my God, I can't wait for those promos against those two going back and forth on each other. I can't wait.
Damn. But yeah, dude, let's get to the championship fight. Oliveira, and I can't what's the guy's what's
Islam Makhachev.
yeah, Makhachev.
Yeah,
That fight, man, what a technical fight that was.
extremely,
Break it down to us,
extremely.
Rob. Well, what did your eyes see?
What did my eyes see is man, I'm so bummed out about this fight, man. I was going for Olivier so hard,
Yeah.
but Makhachev, his big knock was, oh, he's just getting it because he's Habib's boy. He who has he fought? It's not who has he fought. It's that people are dodging him and don't want to fight him. Now this guy just went and took out the number 1 lightweight in the world and the most dangerous and possible pound for pound fighter in the world right now, and definitely in that division. And not only did he beat him in a 5-round fight, the fight just went just a little over halfway because he took him out in the second round. Took him out in the second round by a submission. He looked great in the first round. He looked great in the second round. The second round, he got one jab straight up the middle, and it connected right on the button for Oliveira. Oliveira, you saw, was rocked. He tried to kick up on his head, missed, and the rest was history. Islam jumped on him, and got on him. And I'm not taking anything away from Islam Makhachev. That guy, man, that guy is good. That guy
Yeah,
is
dude.
so good.
He's good.
And
He's really good.
yeah, we're gonna have to be forced to respect him, no matter how you feel about Habib. But
Yeah.
this guy is our new lightweight champion. We finally have a lightweight champion, um, and I just don't know what's next, to be honest, because I don't know
I
where
was just gonna
Islam
ask
goes
you that.
from here. Yeah, I don't know where Islam goes from here. I think they have to run it again, man. Because here's the thing, right? Dustin Poirier. Okay, so Charles Oliveira, the title was vacant before today. Charles Oliveira, number one contender. Number two is Dustin Poirier. Charles beat him. Number three is Justin Gaethje. Charles beat him. Number five is Michael Chandler. Charles beat him. Charles has taken out everybody in that top five except the champion now, who is Islam Makhachev. I think you got to run it back. And on top of that, another fight on this card that we keep, skipping over is Benil Dariush, man. He looked really good. It's about time people start respecting him. He
Yeah.
went in and took care of business against Mateus Gamrot. He looked really good. That fight was really explosive. That was another potential fight of the night for me. That was actually a very great fight, also. And I could see maybe they're like, oh, Oliveira versus Dariush. But you know what? We didn't have to wait. We know who's next, Ray. We know who's next. Because after the win, DC comes in the ring and is like, Islam, who are you fighting next? Habib looks over and he's like, where are you, Volkanovski? Where are you, pound for pound? Where are you right now, 145 champ? He finds the 145 champ and he says, we're coming after you. You're next in February. We're coming to you in your backyard in February. That's how soon this guy is ready to fight. Islam Makhachev wants to fight anybody and everybody, and I am totally here to see it. Volkanovski fighting. He has to put on 10 pounds. He's like, where are you, short guy? Where are you, short guy? To Volkanovski.
Mhm.
And Volkanovski came in the ring. That stare down was awesome. I cannot wait to see Volkanovski versus um, Islam Makhachev.
Do you
And I
think
want to get your
Volkanovski has a chance?
Oh, absolutely, man. Because right now, I'm not sure what the pound for pound ranking is, but he's definitely top two. And in my eyes, he's top one. There's no pound for. I love Charles Oliveira, but he got his belt stripped. You got to push him down a little bit after that last coming into today.
Mhm.
So Volkanovski is guaranteed the pound for pound. He is over Adesanya. He was over Usman for me. He was over Charles Oliveira. He's gone through that division. Then he's gone through that division again. And now he's bored, man. He's like, you know what? I'm going to move up. I'm going to move up in the world. I'm going to go after where the money's at. I'm going to be a double champ. I'm going to hold my 145 belt and I want to hold my 155 belt that I'm going to take away from Habib's boy. And I'm so here to see it. And I'm going all team Volkanovski all the way.
Let's go,
What
man. Let's
do you think, Ray? I'm
go.
curious to see what do you think about all that?
Dude, man, how crazy is that? I think if that fight happens, we have to go. We gotta go to that fight.
It's in
That
Australia.
fight, huh?
It's in Australia.
Oh,
Yeah. I
well,
don't think
let's
I get
go,
my
mate.
passport soon enough.
Let's go, mate.
Let's go,
Let's
mate.
go, anyways.
Yeah.
um, yeah, dude, that would be so incredible if that fight can get pulled off and made. And but that's the thing. Like, that's the thing that I think most people may not understand too. 10 pounds, man, it's a lot of weight. 10
Yeah.
pounds is a lot of weight. The realistic thing is for
Especially
everyone
for a
who
small
needs to
guy
know.
like Volkanovski.
Yeah, and I was gonna
Yeah.
say, for those who don't know, um, you know, Makachev did not go into that fight at, what was it, 155? Were they
No,
155?
he was huge.
Yeah,
He was huge.
you're talking, they're probably ballooning up to about at least 200 and something pounds back. I mean, they're adding a lot back because he's just dehydrating his body and then rehydrating
Mhm.
his body. And then once you get some energy, some food, and they're eating like no other.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, damn, like, I don't know about this other guy. He would have to gain that weight he has all, I guess he does have till next year, but still February, that's pretty early. If it was me, I would have him fight a mid to low ranked fighter at that weight to get him a little bit comfortable with that weight. And then the big fight happens. That's the strategic thing to do, but it's also strategically kind of against you, because what if he does use that weight and he's like, damn, I'm slower, I'm gassed out quicker, I don't feel it. He might just jump back down. So it's really tough. But all I can do is just hope that fight does get made. Maybe they can do it at a catch weight. I don't know if they do that in the UFC or not. I'm
It
not
won't
too
be for the
sure.
belt if they do it at a catch weight.
Huh?
It won't be for the belt if they do it at a catch weight. That's the only thing. So it has to be at 155 for it
That's
to
pretty
be.
stupid though. That
Yeah,
is dumb. I, I
yeah.
I didn't know the UFC did that. I know boxing does that if the fighters agree, I believe. If the fighters can agree, hey, like if we do a catch weight, then I still take your belt, or if I lose, you take my belt, kind of
I'm
thing.
pretty sure the UFC doesn't do that. Yeah,
Oh wow. Okay. Damn, I didn't know that.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, dude. I mean, other than that, I mean, that's my pretty much my last remarks on that. I do really hope the fight happens, though. That would be badass. But do you have any final words, Rob? You have any final words to say?
This was an absolute amazing card, and I'm just surprised I haven't lost my voice yet. Um, it happening so early, I feel like some of our excitement over here on the West Coast, especially starting at 7:30 in the morning, got taken away a little bit, but this was an absolute amazing fight. But the next pay-per-view that we have coming up, it could maybe top this pay-per-view. It could possibly top this pay-per-view. And we are going to do the same thing. A couple days before, we'll have our total breakdown of UFC 281. And right after, probably on Sunday, that day after, we're going to go ahead and review what happened in UFC 281. We got Israel Style Bende Adesanya fighting
Woo!
fighting the one man that knocked him out, Alex Pereira. And this fight, man, I am so scared for Adesanya, man. We're not going to react to it today. We're going to have to wait on that for our next show on this. And then we have Carla Esparza defending her strawweight against Zhang Weili. We got Destin Diamond Boy Poirier against Iron Mike Chandler. We got Dan Hooker on that card. We got Brad Riddell on that card. A lot of Izzy's teammates. Andre Petrosky, Molly McCann on that card. Frankie Edgar, Dominic Reyes. I can keep
Wow.
going on and on. That card is going to be so great, and I cannot wait to come back over here and talk more UFC with you guys. And that's pretty much all I got for you, Ray.
Oh man, for sure. And like I said before, in the beginning of the show, we really do appreciate you guys' support. We appreciate you guys for liking and subscribing. If you guys don't know our YouTube channel is the THE space Ravi and symbol Ray space again show. It's on YouTube. Please like and subscribe to our channel. And also thank you guys for watching our video, man. We really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, we appreciate everyone out there, all the love and support. I just hope just gonna try to keep this show going, and we appreciate all the early love.
All right, you guys. Well, we'll see you guys later on next time on the Ravi and Ray show. Let's go.
Right, we are